Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to films, when it comes to politics, everyone loves a good old comeback story. And this time, the comeback story has been likened in Maharashtra to that of Abhimanyu, the hero in Mahabharata who paved the way for the eventual Pandav victory. And the man who has been compared himself to the character of Abhimanyu is none other than the man you're going to see on your screens, Devendra Fadnavis, who, remember, 2.5 years ago, in fact, 5 years ago, had resigned as Maharashtra Chief Minister, then came back to power 2.5 years later and decided to take a demotion as Deputy Chief Minister. He had then made a promise that he will come back, मैं समुंदर हूं, लौट कर आऊंगा, and one would say that he's back because he clearly has brought the BJP to a sizable victory of 132 seats in the Mahabharata this time and is expecting to be crowned as a reward for his caliber, his competence, and his outstanding performance. But there is a twist in the tale. As you can see, the man, your boss, may sometimes not be happy with a demotion and becoming your junior. Fadnavis's rival or his opponent to the throne is his former boss. He may have won the Maharashtra Sangram for the BJP, but his main rival is Eknath Shinde, who may turn out to be the real inheritor of Bala Sahib's legacy. He's also banking on the fact that he has been the face of the Mahayuti government. Eknath Shinde says that ultimately, I was the man whose face was put up on the posters. I was the face of the Ladki Bahin Yojana, and all the votes you've got because of that are because of me. So as a result, viewers, the BJP may have won 132 seats on its own, but it's still short of a majority in the 288-member assembly, albeit by just 15. So it needs one of its allies to back it. And if one ally, in the case of Eknath Shinde, tries to play truant, it has its another ally. This is, of course, Ajit Pawar's NCP, which, by the way, has accepted Fadnavis as the likely chief ministerial candidate. Ajit Pawar is very keen that he does not want Eknath Shinde to become the bigger brother in the alliance, given that at the end of the day, Shiv Sena and NCP have still been regional parties, always competing with each other. So he has endorsed the BJP and the Fadnavis. What does that mean? Let's listen in to the three voices we got from the three parties today.
Devendra Fadnavis ji is one of the most popular leaders in the state of Maharashtra. There's no doubt about that. And there's a popular demand that he should lead the state by becoming the chief minister. The cadre of Bharatiya Janata Party, the office bearers, the Karyakartas, all are very keen that he becomes the chief minister of the state and leads the state. And by our senior most leaders like Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji, and our party president JP Nadda ji, whatever decision they take, the cadre will abide by.
जिस तरह से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बिहार में संख्या भर देखा नहीं, लेकिन छोटी पार्टी है, उसको बड़ी करने के लिए नीतीश कुमार को सीएम पद दिलाया, वैसे ही एकनाथ शिंदे साहब को सीएम पद मिलेगा, ये हमें विश्वास है.
All the three parties have done exceedingly well. We worked as a team and the success has gone to all the three parties equally. So there is no question of any dispute or difference. Now it's a question of alliance. Obviously, Bharatiya Janata Party has got 132 MLAs and they are the largest party. They were also the largest party in the outgoing coalition. Now, that's all right. There's no real issue. There's not going to be any fight. Let people speculate. Discussions will take place and some formula will be worked out.
So what can be the solution? There are three allies, two contenders, one chief minister's position. And the formula, believe it or not, is a rotational. There are three possible. One is BJP as the chief minister and your deputy chief ministers from Shiv Sena, NCP. That seems to be the natural formula. The other is a 2.5 year formula where Fadnavis is chief minister for 2.5 years, Shinde is chief minister for the other 2.5 years. Then the question arises, who becomes chief minister first? And then, if that is the proposal, then apparently the third proposal being considered is give 2 years to BJP, 2 years to Shiv Sena, and 1 year to Ajit Pawar's NCP. It could not get more khichdi than that, and it's not something which the mandate honestly asked for. Which is why, while the consensus continues, this is the visual that you see on your screens is symptomatic of the story in Maharashtra. Posters have come up both asking for Fadnavis to be chief minister, and posters have come up asking for Eknath Shinde to be chief minister. Clearly something has to give. Clearly one of these leaders and one of these parties will have to swallow their pride and come up for a consensus. Yeah, who will it be? I will go across to my guest, Asif Bamla, spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Raju Wagmare, chief spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, Sanjay Jha, author, is joining me. Also, I'm being joined by Sanjay Gupta, leader of the Shiv Sena UBT, and Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, senior journalist. Good evening, all gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience. I'll beg you to give me 2 minutes more of your time and patience, because there's a big breaking news that's coming in at this point. Apparently, the Mahayuti meeting that was supposed to happen today in New Delhi is going to be skipped by Eknath Shinde. Why is that happening? Let me go across to my colleague Shivani Mishra, who's joining us with more details. Shivani, another twist in the tail. Why is Eknath Shinde not attending this meeting? Shivani, your audio is mute. If you could please unmute your mic.
It is being said that Eknath Shinde has not given any official information with regards to not attending his Delhi tour. And in fact, it is being said that he has sort of demands being made through his party leaders as well, which he needs to address first before the NDA supremos, and then only if he gets any assurance, then he will come up with the all of those demands and meet those NDA senior leaders. Henceforth, we can understand that Eknath Shinde is in the mood to bargain for the chief minister's post, and henceforth he has not attended this particular meeting. It is being said that yesterday also we saw that Eknath Shinde's Varsha Bungalow was supposed to welcome Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. Even that did not happen. All three leaders spoke over a con call. That information came out. And today again, Eknath Shinde has skipped this meeting even after Devendra Fadnavis left for Delhi. Then too, there was no movement at Varsha Bungalow. He was very much available there, but he was also supposed to attend one personal event in Delhi. That also he has refused to attend by now.
So it could not be more clear. Thank you so much, Shivani, for joining us. And let me now go across to my guest at this point, Asif Bamla. It cannot be more clearer that despite all the signs of unity and solidarity, or hum sab saath hai, and hum sab ek saath jeete hai, which we saw on Saturday and over the weekend, the fact still remains, Asif Bamla ji, all is not well. Now tell me honestly, why should Devendra Fadnavis not feel, or why should the Maharashtra BJP Karyakartas who have worked under Fadnavis ji to deliver a stupendous result of 132 out of 145 seats, a strike rate of 90% plus, why should Mr. Fadnavis not be seen or not be rewarded as the natural chief minister? Why is the BJP being arm twisted by its ally in Maharashtra?
Well, let me first submit to you that BJP is not and will not, under any condition and circumstances, get arm twisted. Of course, as far as the question of युति, I can get some disturbance as far as युति का धर्म निभाने की बात आती है.
I think Sanjay Gupta ji's audio. Sanjay Gupta ji, I would request you थोड़ा आपका audio mute कर लीजिए, because problems हो रहे दूसरे guest के साथ बात करने के लिए. Please go on, Asif Bamla ji.
So as far as युति का धर्म निभाने की बात आती है, तो डेफिनेटली भारतीय जनता पार्टी सतर्क है. वो हमने बिहार में भी कर दिखलाया, और यही नहीं, महाराष्ट्र में ही स्वयं हमने कर दिखलाया. पिछले बार जो है आपने देखा कि नंबर्स की संख्या बढ़ हमारी क्या थी और कितनी थी, और ये जनता का कॉल था. उसके बाद और बावजूद हमें जब पहली बार मिला जनता का कॉल, तो वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और शिवसेना का संयुक्त कॉल था जनता का. लेकिन चूंकि UBT सेना preferred to go with the MVA, so we were supposed to sit in the opposition. We came back to power again. Why? Because we were हमारे संग जो गलत हुआ, तो ये परिस्थिति हुई कि जो सरकार में थे वो सरकार छोड़ के हमसे जुड़ना चाह रहे थे, और जब सरकार छोड़कर उस परिस्थिति में जुड़ना चाह रहे थे, तो हमने इस फैसले का स्वागत किया. और हमने कहा कोई नहीं, आपको लग रहा है कि एक स्थिर सरकार देने के लिए यदि देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी, जो एक डेवलपमेंट फडणवीस का नाम है महाराष्ट्र का, पिछले 5 साल में जो एक सतत मुख्यमंत्री रहे, उन्होंने अपनी कुर्बानी दी. पहले तो उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे DCM बनना नहीं है. दिल्ली के आदेश पे पार्टी के हुक्मरानों पर उन्होंने इसको माना. इस फैसले का उन्होंने को न्याय देते हुए he was the one who has swallowed this जो आपने he is the one who swallowed the pride, and he chose to be the DCM, and in the 2.5 years there was a very good camaraderie. अभी फिलहाल जो आई है संख्या बल में तो हम 132 है, स्वयं 100 बल पर हम सरकार बना सकते हैं, निर्दलीय ने सहयोग दिया, लेकिन नहीं, युति हमने साथ की, हमने साथ निभाया। एक गठबंधन है तो गठबंधन की जो मान्यता है उसको देते हुए हम एक साथ मिलकर जो है सरकार बनाएंगे। लेकिन ठीक है, आई डोंट एग्री विद द फैक्ट दैट एकनाथ जी इज ट्राइंग टू आर्म ट्विस्ट, बिकॉज आई मेंशन विद माय ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट कि ये परंपरा भारतीय जनता पार्टी में न थी न है, क्योंकि मोदी है तो मुमकिन है। और मोदी जी जो है और पार्टी के आला कमान ये ब्लैकमेलिंग।
आसिफ भामला जी, you are saying that मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, but we have the Shinde Sena leaders saying that at the end of the day, the captain of the ship was Eknath Shinde ji, and as a result, the mandate is for him. Let me bring in Sanjay Gupta ji at this point. Sanjay Gupta ji, जो आसिफ भामला जी कह रहे हैं कि जब जरूरत पड़ा, Asif ji, I'll come to you. I have 4 other guests. I don't want to keep them waiting for long. I will come back to you. Sanjay Gupta ji, जो आसिफ भामला जी कह रहे हैं वो तो पॉइंट तो है कि जब जरूरत पड़ी, when it was the need of the hour, देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने विश स्पीकर ही डिसाइड, उन्होंने डिमोशन मान लिया, वो चीफ मिनिस्टर थे वो डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर बन गए, डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि बीजेपी के पास तब भी एमएलए ज्यादा है। इस बार एकनाथ शिंदे जी को शायद अगर फेवर लौटाने का बात आए तो एकनाथ शिंदे जी इस बार डेप्यूटी बनने के लिए क्यों नहीं तैयार है?
ये तो खैर शिंदे जी ने फैसला करना है, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने जिस तरह से वो फैसला लिया अपने संगठन और अपने साथियों के लिए, वो एक अच्छा कदम था। और मुझे लगता है कि उस वक्त अगर आदित्य जी डिप्टी सीएम के लिए मानते तो एक बहुत अच्छा कदम रहता और आज वो सीएम का दावेदारी कर सकते थे। मगर मैं आज भी एक बात कहना चाहूंगा कि जिस तरह से अभी महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जो मैंडेट दिया है, तो इसमें मुझे लगता है कि जैसे शिंदे फैक्शन भी चीफ मिनिस्टर बनना चाहते हैं और जैसे अजीत पवार भी चीफ मिनिस्टर बनना चाहते हैं, और जिस तरह से बीजेपी ने हरियाणा में और मध्य प्रदेश में अपने नेतृत्व को बदला, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि महाराष्ट्र में भी बीजेपी इसी तरह का कोई काम करे। तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर इस टर्नओवर में अगर उद्धव जी बीजेपी को समर्थन दे दें और अनकंडीशनल समर्थन दे दे, तो मुझे लगता है कि जो गलती 2019 में हुई वो गलती सही हो सकती है। और एक पुराने वो साथी,
तो क्या आप बोल रहे हैं कि इस बार उद्धव जी को समर्थन दे देना चाहिए?
किसी एक मुद्दे को सही से ना सुलझा पाए, हाँ बिल्कुल, मैं तो यही चाहूंगा कि अगर उद्धव जी समर्थन दे दें तो 2019 में जो गलती हुई तो वो गलती ठीक हो सकती है। क्योंकि अगर उद्धव जी 2.5 साल मुख्यमंत्री रहे तो उसके पीछे भी सिर्फ और सिर्फ मोदी सरकार, नरेंद्र मोदी जी, क्योंकि 6 महीने के बाद उन्होंने किसी ना किसी चुनाव को जीतना ही था, और 6 महीने के बाद सिर्फ एक उद्धव जी के चुनाव को ही मोदी साहब ने परमिशन दी थी। इसके अलावा और 19 ऐसे कैंडिडेट थे, 9 ऐसे कैंडिडेट थे जिसको महाराष्ट्र सरकार चाहती थी विधान परिषद में जाए, मगर मोदी सरकार ने किसी एक की परमिशन नहीं दी। मगर क्योंकि उद्धव जी अड़े हुए थे कि इसलिए मेरे को चीफ मिनिस्टर ही रहना है, तो उस वक्त सिर्फ मोदी साहब ने 6 महीने के बाद विधान परिषद का सिर्फ एक उद्धव जी के चुनाव को ही स्वीकृति दी थी। तो मुझे लगता है कि आज अगर उद्धव जी इस तरह का काम कर ले, आदित्य जी इस तरह का काम कर ले, तो जिस तरह का समीकरण है, तो सिर्फ एक 20 पार्टियों का, जो किसी और तीसरे आदमी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, जो मौके पे जब मर्जी बदल सकते हैं, चाहे वो कोई भी हो। जिन्होंने अपने 30 साल पुराने साथियों को धोखा दे दिया, वो किसी को भी धोखा दे सकते हैं।
संजय जी, आपने एक बात तो तय कर ली कि अभी जो हो रहा है 2024 में, वो 2019 में काफी पैरेलल उसके साथ है। डॉक्टर राजू वाघमारे, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे we are back to 5 years ago where your party is asking for a chief minister's post despite not having the larger party, and at the end of the day this is exactly what led to the Shiv Sena dumping the BJP 5 years ago and then leading up to being broken up in the first place. So what is the difference this time?
See, the difference is in Mahayuti, Mr. Eknath Shinde was a captain for this election. That is number one. Number two, that he became a captain, or the Mahayuti made him captain, not only just because he's Eknath Shinde or Shiv Sena, they made him a captain because of his popularity. That is number two. Because of there was no any spot on his character or on his working capacity. That is another reason. Third, the first CM who opened the Varsha, who worked till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock night every day. There was a big $1 million question for everybody. When Mr. Eknath Shinde sleeps, that much time and devotion Mr. Eknath Shinde gave, That is number
But
5.
Dr.
Number
Vaghbare,
6.
all of those things
Listen
can
to me.
also be said
Can
for
you,
Mr. Modi ji.
can you,
He's also a popular leader, leads from the front, gets votes in his name, sleeps very late.
can I ask you a question? If what you are asking me, why didn't
Hmm.
you ask this kind of question when the Mahayuti decided to make Mr. Eknath Shinde a leader? Why they didn't make Mr. Fadnavis a leader that time? If you are talking like this, then why did not they make Mr. Fadnavis a leader that time? The reason behind it, you cannot deny
Okay.
this. Mr. Eknath Shinde's popularity and the working style made this election easier for Mahayuti. The vote sharing, what BJP is talking about 133 seats and everything, the vote share transfer, the accessibility was there for CM, the popularity of CM, the vote share of at least 35 to 40% transfer to everybody. So if the captain of the ship, the captain of the cricket team, you never change when somebody won. So the captain of this Mahayuti, why you want to change when there is another election? The mini assembly elections will be there about the corner, and the people of this
I'll tell
Maharashtra,
you why, Dr.
they
Raju
saw
Vaghbare.
this case. Yeah, ask me
I'm
what?
very glad you
Ask me.
brought this captain metaphor, because that's also what we are asking in the second debate also, that at the end of the day, why should we not change captains if in cricket team if Bumrah ji is doing so well? So that's the point. Captains can change. Sanjay Jha, come in here. Was this not inevitable?
इसमें
Throughout the election campaign, the opposition and we in the media were asking a similar question: who is the Mahayuti's chief ministerial alliance? And if the Mahayuti wins again, will Mr. Fadnavis once again agree to be a deputy chief minister despite having the lion's share in terms of seat allocation, or will Mr. Shinde go in for a demotion? At the end of the day, was this not inevitable given the fact that the BJP tried to take a shortcut and form a government 2.5 years ago by putting Mr. Eknath Shinde as chief minister, despite the fact that his party had lesser MLAs. And history shows that once someone has become chief minister in India, it is very impossible, very difficult to get that person to step down voluntarily, unless he is Devendra Fadnavis.
Ritangshu, I think you have hit the nail on the head. A perfect example before you is Champai Soren in Jharkhand, right? He was chosen as a chief minister
Yeah.
by Hemant Soren and the entire JMM. And look at the complete dramatic U-turn that happened thereafter. Now, here is the reality. The reality is, and despite an outstanding win by the Mahayuti, I'm not going to deny that. The truth is that this entire coalition with Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde is based on pure and brazen opportunism. This was using the BJP's Operation Lotus with all the ED income tax, etc. So it's a very uneasy coalition. Let's recognize that they have won an election. I'm not going to take that away from them, but the truth is high on what I would call as mistrust. There must be so many wheels within wheels here. Now, just think about it. A coalition that has emerged out of a betrayal of two stalwarts in Sharad Pawar's party as well as Uddhav Thackeray, which is basically he's the son of Balasaheb Thackeray. I mean, the truth remains that there will be daggers drawn at every stage. Now, Eknath Shinde has every right to believe that he's the legitimate leader who created these welfare schemes, although he can't claim it on his own because I'm sure these were cabinet decisions. But as a leader, he will take credit because that seems to be the singular scheme that probably made Mahayuti win. On the other hand, Devendra Fadnavis will say, well, I sacrificed once. I'm not going to do it twice. Now, what you mentioned is interesting. Can they go for a rotation chief minister, which to a lot of analysts and observers who are not part of this Mahayuti will seem to be a reasonable solution going forward. But there's another problem there. Who will be the first chief minister? And who will be the next chief minister? Because there is
Exactly.
always going to be this apprehension that once you become a chief minister, as you rightly said it at the very beginning, nobody in politics relinquishes power. They will say, I've been a chief minister for 2 years, I'll bring the government down and we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to abdicate my throne because I'll tell you what happens. In
And we have
politics,
seen that
Riktangshu,
happen,
this is my
Sanjay.
last line. My last line. I just make one last line. People, when they're chief
Yeah.
ministers, they create many entrenched favorites in the bureaucracy, and they distribute a lot of these goodies to many people. Now, once they have that deep vested interest, they believe they have the mandate and support from those who will say, Why are you abdicating it now? You're good enough. Carry on for another 2.5 years.
And we have seen that happen. Rotational chief ministers
Oh, yeah.
never worked in Chhattisgarh, where I believe at one
Bihar,
point Mr.
Bihar.
Baghel and Mr. Dior was initially supposed
Yeah.
to be in a chief ministerial candidate. It did not work out in Karnataka. I remember a few years ago when Mr. Kumaraswamy was in power with some other party. I think it was the Congress. It was supposed to be a 2.5 year deal. We never got the second chief minister. And it's not just Champai Soren you mentioned here. Jitendra Manji was the standby chief minister.
Yeah.
He quit
Bihar.
the party after he was asked to step down. O. Selvan was Jayalalitha's deputy. He quit the party when he was removed by Sasikala as well. Dr. Uday Nirgudkar, is a rotational chief minister then the best option? And is it a fair option? Because a rotational chief minister comes when you have two evenly matched allies without which a government cannot be formed, and it is a last resort, a jod tod ki sarkar. This mandate does not deserve a rotational chief minister. It deserves a full-time chief minister.
Thank you very much. Coming at least finally to me. Number one, can I take the earlier points which are raised, which are factually incorrect? Number one, in Bihar, it was made clear from day one by Mr. Amit Shah in his rallies, no matter whether we get more seats or Nitish Kumar gets more seat, the CM will be Nitish Kumar. Was it declared in Maharashtra like that? So don't compare Bihar with Maharashtra. Number two, somewhere in the discussion, it was misconstrued that 2019-like situation is now arising. Please, as of now, never ever Mr. Eknath Shinde has claimed that in Band Darwaza, under the closed door, I was offered a CM post. It has not happened. Yes, third point, the author in the panel came out that there is a brazen opportunism of the Mahayuti. Look, Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray joining hands with Congress, whose father has said, I will close the shop if I am becoming Congress, is not a brazen opportunism. Please understand, they will have to sort it out, this issue. And it's not that they have sorted it out tonight. There are enough examples that they have time. If you allow me, I'll give factual examples, how much time they will have. It is not mandatory that on 26th, CM has to take oath. Not at all. This has not happened. I'll give you example. 10th Vidhan Sabha. The tenure got over on 19th October 2004. And
Dr.
when did
Uday,
the
nobody
11th
is really saying that. You are giving examples for a point that honestly has not been raised. Nobody is saying that they don't have time and we are running out of time. The fact still remains. And again, I mean, the Maha'Raj lost the election. We have discussed it at length as to why they lost the election, opportunism, etc., and all those things. The fact is that we are seeing the events unfold in front of us. You are right, Mr. Eknath Shinde was never promised the chief minister's position as Mr. Nitish Kumar was, but the fact still remains he is not attending a key meeting of the Mahayuti in Delhi. Evidently, all is not well.
You should ask a question, why is he not attending to the Shiv Sena leader? In fact, you forgot to ask that question to him in the beginning. They should explain why is he not attending. I was there in Varsha throughout the day. Let him reply. What conclusions we are drawing?
Let me put that question.
He's upset, he's angry, he's not true.
Well, the fact is he has not attended the meeting. Now, we don't know. We are asking questions here. You can give your answers. You can give your interpretation. But let me go across to Dr. Raju Wagmare. I will come back to Asif Bhamlaji. Don't worry. Dr. Wagmare, you heard very clear statements coming in from the Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Thackeray representative as well, and from Sanjay Jha and from Asif Bhamlaji at this point. There was no commitment made to Eknath Shindeji at any point that no matter what, whoever wins the maximum number of seats, you will be the chief minister. Is that not something that should have been discussed beforehand, before we've reached the point where two allies in the government are coming up with statements which are contradictory? And have you realized the fact that unlike last time, your support is not instrumental, because the third person in this equation, Ajit Pawar, who by himself can, along with the BJP, can easily make the government stand, has thrown his weight behind Mr. Fadnavis?
See, the point is, we never said that it was committed to us, the CM post. Is there Shiv Sena statement? Is there? No. from day one, our highest leader, Mr. Eknath Shinde, is saying that the election is fought under me. Whoever Mahayuti's government supposed to come into the power, the highest authority, whatever decision they will take with CM post, we will agree with that. Did we say that we will not agree with that? No. Did any decision as made by highest authority of Mahayuti? No. Is there process is going on? Yes. When the process is going on, when the decision will come, and if we say no, then these questions will arise. We always say that, and I'm as a chief co-spokesperson of Shiv Sena, I am talking with responsibility. We always say that whatever decision has been taken by the High Command of Mahayuti, the Shiv Sena will agree by that. But to asking Chief Minister post is not a crime. To demand for Chief Minister post, it's not a crime. And that we are asking. But we always say that highest authority of Mahayuti, and we are saying right now also, highest authority of Mahayuti, whatever decision they will take, Shiv Sena will abide by that decision. We will stand by that decision. So we are not saying no for it. We are not fighting for it. But to ask, if even
So asking
child,
for a
if
chief
he cry
minister's
and ask, listen to me, when child ask and cry for the milk, then only the mother gave him the milk. So we are asking, we are right to ask. We are not fighting. Not BJP is
okay,
fighting, not we are
fair
fighting,
enough. You have the
not
right
Ajit
to
Pawar
ask.
is fighting. Yes. So, and we always say
You are
that.
you,
I'm telling
you are
you
right to
again,
ask. So
once again.
Asif Manoji, explain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell me.
we've got your point. Asif Amlaji, tell me one thing. If asking for a chief minister's position is not a crime and every party has the right to do so, and the BJP is showing such extraordinary patience in even allowing and saying that, don't worry, we'll discuss with you, we'll ensure a solution comes in. I mean, 2019 में ही कर लेते, सरकार बच जाती आपकी.
मैंने देखिए मुख्यमंत्री पद मांगना ये महायुति में भी तीनों लोगों ने तीनों पक्ष के लोगों ने डिमांड किया था कि भाई देखिए लीडर जो ऊपरी स्तर के होते ये डिमांड उनके नहीं होते एट द एंड ये संयुक्त बैठकों में जो अंतर्गत पार्टी की बैठक होती है इसमें ये डिमांड सामने आते हैं नेता के। अभी आप ये देखिए तो महाविकास आघाड़ी में भी तीनों ने कहा, उधर से उद्धव जी के लोगों ने कहा भाई इन्होंने मुख्यमंत्री बनना चाहिए, उधर पटोले जी ने कहा वो बनने चाहिए, या जयंतराव पाटिल जी ने कहा, तो वो कोई गलत नहीं है। हर पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता जो जी जान से मेहनत करता है वो चाहता है कि भाई हमारी पार्टी का मुख्यमंत्री बने, और ठीक है वो स्वाभाविक है। आई एम नॉट इन अ डिसएग्रीमेंट, और इट्स नॉट आई डोंट थिंक दिस इज वेरी इवन अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सिचुएशन, बिकॉज देखिए जहां तक सरकार बनाने की बात आई तो आज
Okay.
तो यदि आप देखें तो नंबर 100 बढ़ में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास इतने हैं कि वो स्वयं ही बना सकती है निर्दलियों को लेकर, लेकिन वो बात आती ही नहीं है यार, क्योंकि हमने चुनाव साथ में लगा, वरना ये परिस्थिति तो वैसी हो जाएगी जो महाविकास आघाड़ी में थी कि भाई चुनाव इनके संग लड़ा और सरकार दूसरों के संग बना ले। तो वो स्थिति ना थी, ना है, ना होगी, क्योंकि यहाँ कुछ सिद्धांत जुड़े हुए हैं। ये बात मैं संजय झा जी को बताना चाह रहा हूं। यहाँ वो स्थिति परिस्थिति की नौबत आएगी नहीं जिसकी संकल्पना आप लोग कर रहे हैं। यहाँ पर ठीक है, अभी कौन सा पहाड़ टूट गया है, एक दिन लेट हुआ।
Let me make it very
माय
clear,
फ्रेंड
Asif
ऑलरेडी
Amlaji.
मेंशन कि भाई विद नहीं give me 10 seconds. My friend has already
No,
mentioned
Asif
that
Amlaji,
ये
yes,
कोई
there is
जरूरी नहीं कि
no, no one is saying that there is a
कल ही
time
शपथ
limit.
लेनी है।
There is
10वीं
no, we
विधानसभा
have not said
में
even once that there has to be a
10वीं
time limit. I don't know why people are accusing us of asking कि आज क्यों नहीं बनी सरकार. We are not saying there is a time
ये
limit.
तो
Let me also
देखिए
make it clear.
एकनाथ जी
I take
यदि
no,
आज नहीं जा रहे हैं,
I
give me
take
10
no
seconds.
pleasure from
Wait,
seeing a
also
long
one
drawn
second.
protracted battle for governance, because at the end of the
आसिफ
day I
बामला जी
represent
बंद
my
नहीं हो
viewer,
सकते।
I represent the people of
Give me 10
Maharashtra who
seconds.
want governance to be as smooth as possible once it comes on to
Give me
power.
10 seconds.
But what we are
Then
seeing right
give me
now,
10
and
seconds.
even as of now, we are getting source based information. Asif Bhamla ji, I have to move on. Just give me 10 seconds if you want to complete your point before I go to my other two guests.
Okay.
आपने 20 मिनट सेकंड दे दो तब भी चुप नहीं होंगे ये।
अबे हमने
अरे
सबको
यार,
चुप करा
लेट्स
दिया, अभी
नॉट
क्या
टेक
चुप
पॉट
रहने
शॉट।
की
संजय
बात बोल
गुप्ता
रहे
जी
हैं आप?
आपके पास आ रहा हूँ। अच्छा, लेट्स बी सिविल। संजय गुप्ता जी, क्या डू यू अग्री कि जो आसिफ वाला की 2019 और 2024 में बात सिद्धांतों की थी, उस समय बीजेपी को एलआई की जरूरत थी, फिर भी उन्होंने अटल रहे। इस बार एलआई की जरूरत नहीं है, अपने आप ही बना सकते निर्दलियों के साथ, अजीत पवार जी के साथ, बट फिर भी अपने बड़े दिल की वजह से, महानता की वजह से बाकी पार्टीज के साथ बात कर रहे हैं। बिकॉज मुझे तो जहां से लगता है कि इतनी पेशेंस अगर 2019 में होती तो तभी बन जाती सरकार।
देखिए, बिल्कुल अगर 2019 में जैसे देवेंद्र फडणवीस को उस देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी को उस वक्त अगर ये केंद्र में ले आते और मान जाते उद्धव जी के लिए, तो ये सब कुछ होता ही नहीं। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बीजेपी ने उस वक्त सही निर्णय लिया, वो भी गलत निर्णय ही था। मगर अगर हम अब पुरानी बातों को भुला करके, मैं तो ये कहूंगा कि आज भी अगर उद्धव जी बीजेपी को अनकंडीशनल सपोर्ट दे देते हैं, जो गलती उस वक्त हुई इसको सुधार लिया जाता है, तो ये एक अच्छा कदम ही होगा। क्योंकि बाला साहब और हमारे ठाकरे परिवार ने अपनी 3 पीढ़ियां दी हैं, कभी गलती एक हो सकती है, और अगर उस गलती को सुधारने का मन बन जाए तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी साहब उसको मौका नहीं देंगे। तो मेरे को लगता है कि आज भी जिस तरह से मैंडेट मिला है, तो शायद 20 सीटें जो हमारी हैं, उस 20 सीटों की ही आज बीजेपी को सख्त जरूरत है। सिर्फ एक उद्धव जी हैं जो अड़े हुए हैं, वरना हमारी पार्टी के 99% लोग ये चाहते हैं कि उद्धव जी दोबारा से बीजेपी के साथ आए। और ये
संजय गुप्ता
मतलब
जी,
हमारी पार्टी के सभी लीडर्स के लिए बहुत खुशी की बात होगी।
संजय गुप्ता जी, मैं अज्यूम करूंगा कि आप जिम्मेदारी के पोजीशन से बोल रहे हैं एज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव उद्धव बाला साहब ठाकरे, बिकॉज आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो उद्धव जी ने भी नहीं बोला है कि हम बीजेपी को समर्थन देने के लिए रेडी है। खैर संजय जी, आई कम टू यू फॉर द फाइनल वर्ड। एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, इजंट इट बिट टू रिच फॉर द ऑपोजिशन टू पोक होल्स इन व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द गवर्नमेंट फॉर्मेशन? Because at the end of the day, one of the key Mahavikas, if you have to go with what Mr. Sanjay Gupta has been saying twice, one of the key allies of the Mahavikas Akadi has already said that it's okay if you don't want to be chief, if Mr. Eknath Shinde is playing too hard to get, we are ready to ally with you once again.
Ritangshu, I want to say one thing. I think my friend Raju Wagmare said that जब बच्चा दूध मांगता है तो माँ उसको दूध देती है, but he forgot कि यदि बच्चा गलत वक्त पे या ज्यादा दूध मांगता है तो माँ थप्पड़ भी मारती है। तो that may be the situation that Mr. Shinde's party may face. So I will only say this for a fact, that you're going to witness a lot of drama in Maharashtra. This is the beginning, as Dr. Uday correctly mentioned, of a soap opera. Let me tell you, anybody who's not the chief minister, that includes Mr. Ajit
ड्रामा
Pawar,
आप लोगों ने कर लिया
that
पिछली
includes
बार।
Mr. Ajit Pawar. In fact, even Mr. Ajit Pawar harbors ambitions
Picture
of
अभी
being a
बाकी
chief
है।
इस
minister.
बार
When did
ड्रामा
I
नहीं
use the word
होगा।
soap
That the
opera?
BJP and the Shiv Sena get into a
You
gridlock
wish,
and Ajit
you
Pawar becomes the
wish
chief minister
this
for
thing
5
can
years.
happen
That
because
was possible.
पिक्चर अभी
see,
बाकी
the
है।
fox feel the
ये
grapes
चीफ
are
मिनिस्टर जो
sour.
दूध मांग रहे
That is
बच्चों के
Mr.
साथ,
Jha.
ये
कोई
इतने बड़े
ड्रामा
हो
नहीं
गए,
Sanjay,
होगा,
I
आप
think
लोग
you've just
बच्चे
निश्चिंत
बन रहे
रहे।
इतने
you've
बड़े होकर
gotten
के
very
भी ये
indignant reactions from 4 of my panelists with one reaction. I think Dr. Uday
इतने
deserves
बड़े
the answer
होकर के
because I
बच्चे
think you
बन
might
रहे
have
हैं, ये
misquoted
दूध
him. Dr.
मांग
Uday,
रहे
would you like to set the record straight with just 10 seconds before I move on?
Absolutely, I never said there will be a soap opera. I think Rajiv Wagmare finally presented his case very perfectly. And they said, we are
Yeah.
asking for it. Did he say that we will break away with that? Uddhav Thackeray was not contactable in 2021. I
I
have
agree.
myself done 10 shows on that.
Yeah, I agree. I did. You didn't say it was going to be
All
a
three
soap
are
opera,
on
but
talking
yes,
terms.
one thing I will
All
say
three are on talking terms. Here,
that
there is no.
yes,
it's
yes,
not that.
I have to wrap up at that, but I will say one thing. I'm agreeing with you,
in a
Dr.
newsroom.
Uday, at this point, that at the end of the day, whatever we are seeing within the Mahayuti is nothing compared to what we have seen in the Maha'Raj, who wanted to be chief minister even before results came out.
No,
And
not at
today,
all.
we have not reflected it right now in this
You
debate,
can't
but there have been
compare that.
repeated responses from the Shiv Sena UBT and from the Congress saying that the alliance is as good as over, and we have heard it as much from Sanjay Gupta ji. Thank you so much, Sanjay Jha, Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Raju Wagmare, Asif Mamla, and Dr. Uday. It's been a fascinating